Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3448. Today's date is 11th of June 2025. It's been almost like a morning at 7:53. Sorry, 7:34 a.m. Okay, yeah. All right. We directly jump into the question. Okay, let's go. Okay, question is, how can I make a strong pitch to get the venture capital? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, what exactly is this question? Well, this question is actually regarding about the business and business strategies. Okay, I want to establish a business. I wanted to establish a startup in the future, and I don't know anything regarding about business. How should we supposed to do and things and that. So that's why I'm actually asking this question to myself to be aware and be prepared for the things will gonna come. And yeah, okay. So that's why I'm asking this question. Okay, so question is that how can I make the strong pitch to the venture capital? What is exactly the venture capital? Venture capital are the people who are kind of like spending money on your app, on your idea. Okay, that is people called venture capital. Okay, yeah. uh, Definitely you won't be able to do it by yourself. Okay, yeah, like you just do it by yourself. Yeah, but still the money is really essential. Okay, yeah. And when like you have to need a money to pay the money to the salary to the employee of the people and things like that. If you wanted to expand your business, you really required money, and obviously you didn't really have the money at all. Okay, yeah. So you need a kind of like a venture capital. Okay, yeah. The people who are kind of like willing to invest some sort of amount of money, and instead of that they will take some sort of ownership, percentage of ownership, like a 2% 3% of ownership regarding about how much you grow in your business and things like that. All right, yeah. So pitch is kind of like a something like the telling a story about telling a short story, or kind of like a somebody telling a pitch regarding about your app in very short format. Okay, because these people are really busy, very rich people, they are really busy in everything. So you have to be whatever the time that they given to you, you have to make sure that time should supposed to be valuable not only for them but for you too. And make sure that the presentation is like good. Okay, yeah, because the another chance you will not gonna get. So pitch is really essential. It's a kind of like a something like a shark tank. Okay, yeah. Like in the shark tank, all the entrepreneur people are kind of like a come and pitch the idea regarding about what exactly they think and what exactly they want. And the people who are actually willing to invest some sort of amount of money, instead of that they are giving, they want 2% 3% of ownership of your company. All right, yeah, whatever. So if I have to pitch somebody, or if I have to pitch, what kind of like a stuff do I supposed to need? Okay, yeah. There are some sort of stuff that I should supposed to be asked before I have to give it the pitch. Okay, yeah. uh know your idea inside out, like what is exactly your idea, what is exactly your things. You have to be know your idea inside out. That is like it's a very common thing na. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so it just like that ki you just have to tell that ki the idea that you are working. Okay, yeah, the application or the things that you are actually working, you have to tell them how big it is or how it can grow. Okay, yeah. So what is actually my idea? So my idea is that ki just like there are a lot of people who are like really alone in their life. We are entering in such a world where internet, anyone can use internet and anyone can meet and see and talk. Yeah, but even if all the goodies that we have, all the internet and all the messages and all the kind of like a things that we have, still we are really alone. Yeah. Regarding about showing the data that ki almost like a 50 year ago, people usually talk with each other. They don't really have anything to talk, or they don't really have any phone or nothing really at all, but they just talk. But right now we are in such a world where who is exactly in your neighbor don't know, or who is exactly sitting next to you you don't know, because the most of the time you are kind of like a looking at your phone and things like that. And basically the such a world we are entering where everyone are alone, and my app is a kind of like a solve that kind of like a problem. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like a things called my artifact episode. It means that ki, um, sorry, okay, I just did a kind of like a completely wrong pitch. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like a completely wrong. Okay, yeah, let me start over. Let me give my pitch. Okay, yeah, all right. Hello. My name is Saurabh Autharam. Sir, there is some sort of problem in the world, and I think I could kind of like simply share that problem. We are the humans, and we are interact with a lot of people in our life. Okay, yeah, good, bad, everything. Okay, yeah, and because of we interact with the people, we influence from them. Okay, yeah. But because of all those things there is some sort of problem. Okay, yeah, we don't know what is actually that we want, we don't know what is actually our purpose, we don't know nothing really at all, we just go with the flow and things like that. Okay, there is a only one person in your entire life that you haven't really met. Okay, and that person is you. And like there is no process to connect with yourself, but my idea is actually kind of like a solve that problem. Hi sir, my name is Saurabh Authere. I created an app called My Artifact Episode. It's a kind of like a assembly process that I am following since 2015. It means that ki I kind of like a simply record my thoughts and stuff like that. How? It's just like that ki like basically every hour I just kind of like a record the artifact, talk about what is actually happened and things like that. It's kind of like a something a audio journal. Okay, yeah, like basically the people who write the diary. Instead of diary, I'm kind of like a convert this thing in a audio recording. Since then, I'm kind of like a recording every single day. 11th of February 2015 I started, and since then I'm recording every single day. I talk about my life, I talk about everything, I talk about what I want in my life and things like that. um, Reaching here and talk to you is a kind of like a something very big achievement for me, because I am came from very different environment, and kind of like my thought process are very different and completely different. I seen the transformation change inside of me, and this is all those things actually happen is because of the artifact. It's kind of like a something application which people are kind of like a something willing to express their thoughts and things like that. And there is no platform is kind of like a providing that stuff. Yeah, like a Facebook, all those kind of like a platform are actually exist, but you are bounded by the words and things like that. Okay, yeah, YouTube does like a, you can make your video and you can share your thoughts and things like that, but still it doesn't really work that well, because YouTube is a kind of like a something meant to be creativity sharing app and things like that. Instagram does not, Twitter does not. Okay, yeah, my application is kind of like a something audio based platform when people are kind of like press the record, and the whatever the word that they wanted to say they will kind of like a record and say it. Okay, yeah. Now uh why this is kind of like a something change, like a why this method will gonna change. Well, at the beginning it was kind of like a bit really awkward, the people will start kind of like a bit really awkward to talk with themselves. But it's just like that ki after some sort of time, after they kind of like a keep continuing, they will kind of like a grow, they will kind of like a find there is some sort of value inside of them. Obviously it takes time, it takes kind of like a something 6 months to be a comfortable with themselves, and then when they are kind of like a bit really comfortable, no one's stopping them, they just know about each other, they know about themselves a lot. Now you're asking question that how does the people will kind of like know themselves a lot. Like I just ask my questions, like basically my application is a kind of like a somebody or recording. Okay, yeah, audio based platform. But in this thing, in my application I will gonna ask question, like example is this thing that ki tell me your first encounter when tell me the experience when you first time you had a case. So when this application, when the question, like when my application actually asks the question to the customer, to the people, they are kind of like a willing to record and things like that. Now this is also really essential thing for me, is that why does people will gonna record the artifact? Yeah, is because of the kind of like a something being really influenced. Okay, what do you mean by that? You are not just the only one who is recording. Okay, it's a kind of like a somebody community based platform where everyone is kind of like a somebody recording, and whatever the recording, everyone is actually listening them, kind of like a something. YouTube means like that, okay, you upload your video and people are watch the video on your platform, on your YouTube channel. This is what exactly is it. Okay, yeah, people will gonna record their artifact, and kind of like other people will kind of like listen that artifact. Okay, yeah, based on that artifact, what is actually stuff that you say, the question is matter, means like that you are talk about your first time you had a sex, or kind of like a something when the first time you approach a girl, what is actually happen and things like that. Okay, yeah, when the person is actually talk about his experience and things like that, we will also influence that ki, oh, like I also kind of like went through the similar stuff, so I will gonna share the same thing as well. Because we are the human, and we are kind of like a something, our progress is actually depend on that key, what does other people are doing and how do I supposed to do it, kind of like a similar. Okay, so this is a kind of like a some same thing happened. Okay, yeah. Now there is also another problem, okay, that you are thinking that key, why does people will gonna share this thing at the first place? Yeah, that is really good question. Is because of that key, my application is actually providing kind of like a something, a privacy. A privacy is really essential for the people, not only for the people who actually record the artifact, but as well as the people who actually listen the artifact. It means that like basically, like if I'm just saying, if I'm kind of like a recording some sort of stuff regarding about when I first approach a girl. Okay, yeah, so at the spur of the moment I might gonna mention my name, the girl name or location or whatever it is. Okay, yeah, and when I record this thing and when someone might be listen, this might be kind of like a really problem, because other people will kind of find out. Because let me tell you one thing, our thoughts and our ideas or whatever it is, it's really unfiltered, it's a raw, it's not exactly right. Okay, yeah, putting your name into the artifact, it's kind of like a somebody, you put yourself in lot of jeopardy, because you don't know what is actually the process, you don't know what is actually the problem that you will gonna face, and you don't know, it's a kind of like a something that key, how much like other people will find out and they will gonna talk about this and that. It's kind of like a somebody, your thought process. Now you shouldn't supposed to be said your thought process that, yeah, I just think like that, that beside your best friend and things like that. No. So basically is this thing, I just wanted to make sure the credibility of the people who actually record the artifact, like they like a basically they are, whoever that person, like a person will gonna record the artifact, they will not gonna, like their name shouldn't supposed to be included in the handle. Okay, yeah, like basically if I'm gonna say my name is Saurabh Avdare, so basically my artifact handle should supposed to be named as a Prozac 1943 or something else. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of like a something securing my identity at first place. Another place is that key, in the recording at the spur of the moment I might gonna mention some sort of name and things like that. My application is a AI driven application. It means that the whatever the words that the person who's actually saying, it convert into the audio into the words, with a subtitle, with a time code. Okay, yeah, and when that particular person says some sort of name, okay, yeah, AI will found that particular name and add a beep over there, or a kind of like a silent that particular segment, so that the people who is actually listening the artifact, they will not gonna know who is that person and things like that. Now you have asked this question that how does AI will found the name and things like that. It's what's kind of like a something easy. Finding a name is not really that much difficult. For the AI is not really that much difficult. Like my name is a Saurabh Avdare, your name is a Akash Shastrakar. There is a lot of kind of like a something, the name that kind of like easily classified, because it was kind of like a something. Do you get it now? Okay, yeah. So the AI will kind of like a somebody found that particular thing, add a beep over there, and kind of like a something that key, it add the privacy to the people who actually record the artifact, but as well as kind of like a, some the people who actually listening this thing, they will not gonna know who is the person that he was kind of like a listening the artifact and things like that. And let me tell you one thing, what is actually the one of the crazy thing about this application is that we knew that our thought process are right or not, or kind of like a somebody good or not, or kind of like a somebody, we just know that what does other people thinks like that, what does other people think something very different way. There are so many topics to talk regarding about the relationship, kind of like a business, kind of like a career, there are kind of like a things, and people are willing to talk, willing to share their thoughts and things like that. And also they want to kind of like a something that they don't want their kind of like a something the privacy should supposed to be take care. My application is kind of like a taking care of that privacy. Also my application is kind of like a simply doing some sort of extra step. Okay, it means that yes, I am allowing my application to kind of like a people can say anything at all, but there is some sort of problem too, like basically people will gonna start talk about kind of like a something nasty stuff, like sexual stuff, hate speeches, religious hate speeches, or kind of like a spreading the hate and things like that. I don't want to be my platform is kind of like a work that well. So for me, I have to be take care like I have to be judge each artifact episode by the star based system. What's a star based system? A star based system, it means that the each artifact is a kind of like a somebody judged by the people who actually read the artifact, and they will kind of like a give the star base, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. Okay, yeah, 5 star, that means that artifact will recommend more and more people. 0 star, it will recommend very less and less people. Okay, yeah. So this is what actually happened. So even if the people who are kind of like a saying some sort of nasty stuff regarding about the hate speeches and everything, it will kind of like a something, the people will kind of like a giving them 1 star or 0 star, so that that artifact will not gonna recommend to the more and more people. So in the end, it kind of like a something diminish that thing. Okay, yeah. So this is what kind of like a something my application will gonna work. Okay, yeah. So this is my pitch, dude. Okay. Regarding about growth, okay, if you are kind of like considering that key, how does it kind of like a simply growth? So there is a couple of things that I wanted to kind of like a talk about. Yeah. Yes, my application has a kind of like a something lot of chances that it will gonna grow in the future and things like that. But still, what I'm trying to tell you, the growth will gonna happen small at the beginning. It might gonna kind of like a something very small, means like that the early 5 year of my application is a kind of like a something that key you don't really see any profit or maybe nothing really at all. Why is this? Because of that key people are not really comfortable to talk. Okay, yeah, like a it's a kind of like a simply genuine trust. Okay, because let me tell you one thing, why we are kind of like uploading kind of like a photos in Instagram, because we trust that Instagram is kind of like a somebody a social media platform and everyone knows, everyone follows. Yeah, like basically trust is actually built up by the when the millions of people are using it. So basically I have to do it this thing. So this is what kind of like a trust is actually became. My application doesn't really have that much trust factor. Okay, because it's a thing. Yeah, I am actually providing all those stuff and things like that, but trust is a kind of like a simply that key one thing that I don't really have it. Okay, and it takes time. Okay, it's not kind of like a simply happen. Okay, yeah, it just kind of like it takes time, and at least like a 5 year you will not gonna see that many growth. Yeah, little by little. Okay, yeah, but after the 5 year it will gonna be exponential, kind of like a something that key people just love to talk. And yeah, it's a kind of like a something that the habit. Because let me tell you one thing, I started this thing in 2015, it's been almost like a decade. Okay, yeah, at the beginning of the 6 months it's kind of like a something very crazy. It's a kind of like a something that I don't want to record artifact, because it was kind of like a something very creepy and kind of like a talking with yourself, it's just kind of like a really awkward and things like that. But when I try to figure it out, when I just understand this thing, and when I love to recording thoughts and stuff like that, I just love the process, and since then I'm just recording. I'm just, yeah. So this is what kind of like a something habit will automatically create, and people will gonna start recording artifact. Okay, yeah. As an investor, how do you supposed to earn money? It's a really essential question. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's a kind of like a something that as I mentioned, my application is kind of like a something a YouTube. Okay, yeah, it means that ki in a YouTube platform you will gonna show the ads and you will gonna earn money from the advertisement. Same thing happened. Like a people will gonna listen the artifact, and when the people will gonna listen the artifact, they will gonna get some sort of advertisement, audio advertisement, something like that, kind of like somebody Spotify does. Okay, yeah. So when this advertisement is actually pop up, then people, yeah, like from the advertisement we will actually earn money as an investor, as a me, yeah, we will gonna earn money through it too. So yeah, this is my idea, this is my kind of like a thongs. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So this is how do I kind of like a somebody pitch my idea. Okay, yeah. I don't know, is it kind of like a somebody, I involve all the points by the way, but still there are some sort of points are kind of like a somebody willing to talk. Okay, yeah. But after I kind of like a says about my pitch and things like that, I have to be say thank you. Thanks for your feedback. Sorry, thanks for the opportunity that you are given to me. Okay, yeah. I'm not actually expecting any kind of like a somebody investment, but it's kind of like a somebody giving the confidence to talk in front of you, and you are allowing me to give that confidence. It's kind of like a somebody really good for me. Thank you for that. And if you really required any kind of like a extra detail regarding about my company, my application, yeah, just free to ask, I just provide to you. And I am kind of like a touchwood by the team that I have right now. I have only 4 people with me. Okay, that means only 5 people are kind of like a working on my application. Okay, yeah. All the money that I kind of like a work is by myself. Like I am also content creator, and whatever the money that I'm earning from content creation, I put all those money into this particular platform. Regarding about marketing this business, I'm using my social media because I am also a content creator too. So I'm using that particular platform to sharing my platform to the more and more people. So this is what the process that we are doing. Okay, thanks for your time, and good luck, sir. Thank you for time. That's it. So this is kind of like a only pitch that I would gonna do. Well, still there are a lot of kind of like a something that key need to filter it out regarding about your app and things like that. I just have to write it down and kind of like a somebody figure it out all the points. Okay, yeah. All right. Whatever. So this is kind of like a something. This is how I would kind of like a somebody pitch to the investor or kind of like a venture capitals regarding about my things and that. All right. Yeah, but still it's I think that na ki I just kind of like somebody mentioned talk, but other people didn't really get the gravity of it. They just kind of like somebody get the information about this and that. They don't really kind of like somebody get the feel the gravity of this thing. So I have to make sure that whatever the pitch I should supposed to be execute in a such a way that people get kind of like a somebody engage. Okay, not like basically my the pitch is a little bit of engageful, I think that, but still need to be kind of like a simply filtered it out and properly explain this thing. All right, yeah, whatever. It's really good right now. So yeah, whatever. So this is my pitch. Okay, yeah. Thank you.